Hey everyone, welcome to Apigee Edge 4-minute videos for developers, season 25, episode 6. In this episode, we're going to learn how to skip the cache, population as well as retrieval for some scenarios so that you can selectively give back the response from Apigee Edge cache based on different conditions. Myself, Anil Sagar, I work at Google and Apigee platform. Prerequisites for this video, you need basic understanding of API caching. For that, you can refer to earlier 4-minute videos. Apigee Edge can sit in between the client and target system where you can able to create API proxies and cache the data. For some scenarios, you don't want to cache the data. For example, you have a books API and whenever you're querying for books related to Node.js, you want to cache the data. But for example, whenever the client is querying for books related to Java, you don't want to cache the data. You always want to serve the refresh data from the backend system directly. You can able to skip the cache for various conditions. Similarly, once the data is cached, for some scenarios, you don't want to retrieve the data from the cache and you want to skip it and you want to go all the way to the backend and get back the response. You can able to do both in Apigee response cache policy whenever you are caching the data in Apigee Edge API management platform. Let's see how to do that using a simple use case and Apigee Edge API management platform. Let's create a simple API proxy to see the skip cache population and skip cache lookup settings in action. Click on API proxies and then click on plus proxy to create a new proxy. Choose reverse proxy, click on next. I'm going to give the proxy name as skip cache demo and give the base path as /v2/books. Give the existing API as Google Books API endpoint. Click on next. Choose authorization as pass-through. Choose defaults, build and deploy. Once API proxy is deployed, click on the API proxy link and navigate to develop screen to add the response cache policy. Click on preflow, click on plus step on top of request and add the response cache policy. In the response cache policy, we're going to first define skip cache population condition. So we're going to skip the cache population if the query parameter q is equal to Node.js. That means whenever somebody is searching for Node.js related books, we're going to skip the cache. For all other different use cases, we're going to populate the cache and serve the API responses directly from Apigee Edge cache. Let's save the API proxy and see it in action. Click on trace to see it in action. Start the trace session. If a request comes with query parameter is equal to Node.js, then we're going to skip the cache and we're going to get the fresh content from the backend. As you can see, I'm making a call with q is equal to Node.js and it went all the way to the backend. Even if I make multiple calls, it always goes to the backend because we have defined skip cache population condition where if it is q is equal to Node.js. As you can see, all the times it went to the backend system. Let's say if q is equal to Python, then it is going to cache the data because we defined the condition only for q is equal to Node.js. Let's say if I make multiple calls, then only first call goes all the way to the backend. The second call onwards, you should see the response coming from the cache data. There you go. That's how you can able to define the skip cache population condition. Let's say now you are caching the data that is related to Python, but whenever a request comes with the data is equal to fresh, then you want to skip the cache lookup. You can do that by defining skip cache lookup condition. Let's say whenever query parameter, let's say data is equal to fresh, then you want to skip the cache lookup and go back to the backend. Let's save the API proxy. Now, even though we are caching Python related books, let's say whenever query parameter data is equal to fresh is present, then we go all the way to the backend. Otherwise, we're going to give back the data from the cache in Apigee Edge platform. Let's see it in action. Click on trace, start trace session. As you can see, if we make a call with q is equal to Python, it's already cached, so you're going to get back the response directly from the cache. But if I give the query parameter data is equal to fresh, then it is going to the backend to get the data because we are going to skip the cache lookup. Let's see it in action. As you can see, it took 470 milliseconds because we have given data is equal to fresh. It is going to skip the cache lookup. It is going all the way to the backend to get the data. That's how you can able to skip the cache population as well as cache lookup based on various conditions by leveraging the flow variables in Apigee Edge API management platform. Hope you have enjoyed this video. If you are interested to evaluate Apigee Edge, you can reach out to us using this link. If you have any questions, please feel free to post your questions in commit@apigee.com. Please share the love for APIs by sharing this video with your friends and colleagues and help us spread the knowledge. You can also subscribe to YouTube channel by clicking on subscribe button below this video and stay updated.